Hey guys, happy Saturday. I have Monroe here. I'm going to change her while we chat. A lot of people have been reaching out to me asking what I think about, I'm getting right into it, what I think about the new changes coming to YouTube creators and what this means for our hobby. Our platforms are based around dolls, and are they, the change is going to affect us? What's happening? So I've been doing a lot of research. I've stayed pretty quiet because I wanted to do my research. I know a lot of channels are talking about it, but just not going into depth. I decided to do my own research and find the best sources that I could get really good information before I shared anything with you guys. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm going to share what I have heard so far and what I know so far. And the thing is, with the changes coming, they won't happen until 2020. So YouTube has given us time if we are going to be affected, if our channels will be affected. They're giving us time to figure out like a game plan and, what we may want to do to kind of shift or pivot. So here's the basic information, you guys, and how this even all occurred. So the Child Online Privacy Protection Act, or they call it COPPA. What's happened is the FTC really came down hard on YouTube, and they fined them $170 million because of whether it's violations or I'm guessing based on what I've heard, it's violations of COPPA, and that children are not being protected. So that's, we've all been talking about how, especially our hobby is specifically been affected a lot, and also family channels, anything that might be geared towards children. A lot of us have seen our videos be demonetized because they say that they're not suitable for most advertisers, and that is because of specifically what children may be exposed to online. So this COPPA has been put in place to protect our children, and I totally get that. And with YouTube's, their algorithms are looking for information to see what may fall into the category of being, attractive to children. And because we have dolls on our channels, and we're basically talking, spotlighting, our focus is dolls, that is attracting younger viewers. So that's where the problem comes in for us, guys. So the changes have not taken place yet, even though we still see, for a lot of us, our videos are still being demonetized because of, this that's been going on. I mean, this has been going on for the last year, from what I can tell, or even longer, because our channels have been, some have been deleted and just completely closed down without any warning. It's actually surprising, because normally YouTube just throws out a new, this is how it's going to be, and it happens immediately. This time they've really given us some heads up, some time to figure out what we may need to do to make changes to our channels. From what I've heard is that in 2020, when this all takes effect, we will need to tell them, as we're putting up videos, whether each video is going to attract children, and if it's child-related material, which I hate to say it, guys, all of our content is, whether we want to think it is or isn't. From what I'm looking at online and what YouTube's guidelines are saying, I think that all of our videos are going to be subject to this new rule, whereas they're going to, one, remove our comments, and two, they're going to take away any type of monetization. That's what I've heard so far. Like, more and more information is kind of coming out as I've done some research. I kind of look to the really big channels that have like channel managers with YouTube, and they have actual one-on-one information back and forth with YouTube, versus when I reach out to YouTube, I do get a response, but it feels like it's not like with one person. I feel like it's just kind of YouTube trying to keep up with probably the millions and millions of questions that people are throwing at them when they send out an email. So I don't have like a specific one person that I can go to, but I do get answers when I do email them. Are they timely? Maybe not as much as I would like them to be. But the bigger channels that do have like a YouTube account manager that they work with, because they're so large, they tend to get the better information quicker. So I kind of lean on them and their channels when they're putting out information and updates for good information. And so far it's been really good information and very helpful. I'm going to put this on her today. It's beautiful out today. It's going to be gorgeous all weekend. So I'm going to put this outfit with these bloomers and then some knee-high socks and some shoes. It's probably going to be 80 degrees out today, so it's definitely warm enough for it, but it's probably going to be like the last great weekend we have. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. But anyway, so are we going to be effective? Absolutely we are. It bums me out because it bums me out for the fact that if they remove comments, if they choose to remove comment ability on all channels that are, considered a child-related channel with children's content, which even though we're adults, guys, there's a lot of children that are viewing our videos. Some channels more than others. I don't think I have a ton of young viewers, but it's hard to really tell. I do know that some of the even bigger channels than mine, I know based on like the comments that are left, that they have a lot of young viewers. So anything that may attract children that are underage, they're saying they're going to take away, they're disabling comments, and they're going to make it not allowable for us to monetize our videos any longer. Whether that's what really happens, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where we're all going to be like, we're all going to be holding our breaths waiting to see really what goes into play. I believe YouTube will be asking you to state whether or not you are one of these channels that is considered, with children's content. And for those that are thinking, well, I'll just tell them it's not, here's the thing. YouTube's got pretty smart algorithms. As much as we were frustrated of how some of our things were being tagged and flagged, because we're like, well, obviously they're not watching the videos. We get them remonetized, but there's something in the algorithm that's actually saying something is going to attract kids and it may not be deemed suitable. There's something in the metadata that they're collecting from our videos that are throwing the flags, and their algorithms are actually pretty smart from what I've been learning at figuring out what does attract kids. And our videos attract kids. That's the biggest problem we're having, is that even though we may not view ourselves and our channels as a child channel, like I don't gear my conversations towards children. I don't gear anything that I put out for content towards children. That's never my intent. But from now on, when we're forced to say, is this child content? Is this going to be something that will attract a child? I'm going to have to say yes. If you say no and you continue to keep putting out videos and they see that children are attracted, then guess what? The scary thing is that the FTC has now said that they will go after channel creators who try to get out of, being honest and forthright about their content. So like they're not messing around, guys. It's actually very, very serious. At first I'm kind of like, oh, how bad is it going to be? The more I dig into this, the more I'm seeing that this is a big deal. This is not only going to affect just this platform either. So for those that I've been viewing some of the videos with people chatting about this, I've noticed people saying, well, I'm going to look to like Instagram to maybe put some videos out, and look to even Facebook to putting videos out. YouTube is just the first. This is the very start of this movement. This is the very start. They're only just beginning. So YouTube will be the first platform that gets hit with this, and they're going to look at all other social media platforms for the same thing. So it's not like leaving YouTube and going to another platform is going to give you the option to continue putting out content and not deeming it that it could be child related. So that's something to keep in mind if you are a YouTube creator and you're watching this and you think that, okay, I'll just move to another platform. They're gonna look at all platforms. The FTC is really cracking down because there just has been too much. There's too much out there that's drawing young children in, and it's not safe for them. And I get that. Being a parent, even though my kids are older, I get what they're trying to do, and we want them to protect our children. That's what we want them to do. That's what their jobs are. Does it make it a little inconvenient for us as channel creators? Absolutely. But I get why it's happening. So as much as I don't like it, or I might not be happy with the effects it'll have on my channel, it is what it is. I've got to accept the fact that, one, I don't make money off of my channel. I mean, I make a little money, but I don't rely on any of the money that would come from this channel. So I do it for fun. But for those channels that rely on their channel content for income, they're going to be affected terribly. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a lot for some channel creators. And there's really nothing you're going to be able to do about it other than to pivot and start making changes to your channel that changes the type of content that you're putting out, which most of us aren't going to do because we're here for a hobby. We're here to share our dolls. So for me, I can tell you that I don't plan to change my content, but I will disclose that I think that it is going to attract children. They will probably disable my comments, and they will probably demonetize every single video that I've ever had monetized. And I've accepted that that's probably what's going to happen. If for some crazy, odd reason they don't, well, great. But accepting the fact that, I mean, as long as I'm being appropriate and I'm not, I try very hard not to swear in my videos. I try very hard to, even if it's like an unhappy video that I'm making or addressing some issues, I still try to make it like safe content for children to stumble upon. Okay? Like, I'm going to try to do my best to continue doing that and making sure that I'm making it as safe as possible for children to see and view. And I think that's going to be important for all of us moving forward. But like I said, as we find out more, I will let you guys know. It's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's taken me a couple of weeks just to kind of filter through and figure out what's what and how it will affect me, affect our channels, my fellow friends in the community that create channels or create videos. Like, it's all a lot. It's a lot of information. Sometimes it's not easy to understand what they mean by some of it. And that's the key, is like understanding what they mean by these rules and changes that they're putting out, and how we can follow them and make sure we're adhering to them. Because I don't need the FTC knocking on my door because I'm like, no, it's not children's content. And then they look at my videos and it's got obvious lifelike baby dolls that are attracting children. We can't avoid that. It is what our hobby is, which is why I think a lot of YouTube creators in our hobby are kind of freaking out, because they know there's, we attract children, whether that's our goal or not. We attract children. That's the bottom line, guys. That's what I've found out. There's more, of course, to it other than what I'm putting out there. There's like the gaming channels, they're going to get hit pretty hard. But all of the lifestyle channels, like the vlogging, the family vlogs, there's so much out there that I know rely on this as income. Like, I can't imagine what they're thinking. So what they're telling people, like the experts out there are saying, finish strong in the fourth quarter. Like, put out lots of videos, put out more videos than you would if you want to get as much money from them, if that's what you're doing on YouTube. Finish strong in the fourth quarter, continue doing what you're doing, but be ready for the changes that will come and see how it all plays out. Like, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. We might see some of our beloved channels disappear. They may just, shut them down if they think that they're even remotely inappropriate or they're not following their guidelines. They will shut them down and you won't get warning. Like, this is the warning. you're looking at it, guys. We're in the warning stage. Once it takes place, and they're giving us ample warning. So there's no like, hey, they should have told us sooner, or no, we've got plenty of time to make the changes and follow their guidelines. So that's something, if you're not aware and you're not in the loop on what's going on, start doing your research. If you're a channel creator and you are in this hobby, you're affected. You need to know what's up with everything and do your homework. This is going to be important because there will be fines left and right if people don't follow after all of this comes out. Like if you're in violation, FTC will most likely come after the bigger channels, is what they're saying. So just a little bit, of information out there. Like, as I said, as I learn more about it, as things keep coming out, because more and more kind of keeps coming out about the changes and what they mean for us, I will share it with you guys. I think it's important for all of us to really know what's happening so we can address it, make changes, do what we need to do so we can keep our channels going. And hopefully we pray that, they're not going to just shut down our channels and be like, okay, you're done. Because that is a possibility. And I've also accepted that that might be the possibility for my channel. We'll see. So I think it's important to really focus on good content. I think it's also important to remember who our viewers could be when you're putting out content. I think that's really important to know, that whether you think you're attracting kids, we are. Our whole hobby does. There's a lot of children in our hobby, and I think sometimes we forget that. And now with this happening, we need to be like on top of it. We need to be aware of it, and we need to be putting out videos that are not going to be bad for children to view, which is why most of us are, in that aspect, I feel like we're fine, because for all the videos that I've had demonetized, I've gotten them all back. They've all been deemed suitable. That tells me that, upon review, they see that there really isn't anything damaging or harmful to any child that may see and stumble across my videos. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. That's a good thing. If you're a channel that has never been able to gain back your demonetized videos, I don't know if that's going to cause concern. I feel like for some channels that I know that have no monetization available to them, I feel like they've already gone through the whole, demonetize. They know that it's, attracting children. Maybe they're going to look at them and be like, oh, we already reviewed them and they're no problem. I don't know. I really just don't know what to expect. I hope that it's not going to be as bad as I'm thinking. But it's like, prepare for the worst, prepare for the worst, and if something good happens out of it and we're all still here after this all takes place, then that's a wonderful thing. And that's kind of how I have to look at it. I've been on YouTube for many, many years. I've seen a lot of changes happen over the years with YouTube, some good, some not so good for us. I mean, it really just depends on what we're talking about. But I feel like just navigating, this is going to be a new thing, and I think this is just the start. I think you're going to see it spill over into every single platform, as the FTC has already said that they're going to look at every social media platform that may be geared towards children and may not be protecting them. So, yeah, that's what I know so far, guys. I mean, it's a lot of information out there. Like I said, I literally just talked about very, very basic, not super specific, because I don't want to get too specific on like the algorithms and stuff that I've been learning about. It's crazy. Like, the algorithms that YouTube uses are so smart and intuitive to gather the information so they know who views what. It's also how they figure out, like, what to suggest for people. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't, But it's very interesting, and the more I delve into it, the more I get, like, wowed by it. Because I always thought, like, they got some, old ancient algorithm that's not even reading our information right, and it's flagging all of our videos, and it must not be super intuitive. And no, it's actually very intuitive. And now that I see what they're looking for, it makes sense to me. It totally makes sense to me. Even though none of the channels I watch are guilty of doing anything that would be harmful to children. The point is that we're attracting children, and there's so many of our channels now, and some are nasty kind of videos that I wouldn't want my kid, if they were, a young child stumbling across, like I wouldn't want them stumbling across some of the videos I've seen that have been put out on the internet from some of even the doll channels. Like, yeah, I mean, you got to think of it in terms of being a parent and knowing that your child may stumble across some of the videos, especially some of the like really nasty videos that have been out over the years. Like, it happens all the time, fights and arguments with people. Would you want your child listening to that? No, I wouldn't want my child listening to that. So that's kind of what you got to keep in mind, what they're trying to do here. And yeah, and just, you know, try to do the best you can to put out good content. And when the changes happen, follow the rules. You need to follow their rules. There's no getting around it. There's no saying, nope, it's not child related. All of our doll channels are child related. It's going to be children's material because we're talking about dolls. We're sharing dolls. And I just think that that's how it's going to be, guys. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope, based on what I'm hearing, that it's, you know, everybody kind of in a frenzy and super worried, but so far it looks like it's really going to it's going to hit us hard. So better to prepare for it and make the changes you need to and be prepared when those changes take effect. So that's what I've got so far for you guys. Like I said, as I learn more, I will let you guys know so that you're aware of any of the changes that I hear as they release more and more information. Here is little Miss Monroe in her Jacquardie outfit today. She looks adorable. I love the blue and white. I like stripes. I like polka dots. I love all these really bold prints. And I think she maybe wore this once at the beginning of summer, so I'm like, I want to have her wear it one more time. Not that you couldn't technically pair it with like a long-sleeved, you know, onesie, but I don't know. I love it. I love it. So this is a Jacquardie onesie underneath with the pretty collar. So it's just a little basic white Jacquardie onesie with the frilly collar, short sleeve. And she's got her pretty originals knee-high socks that have like, I don't know what you would call. It's got a design in it. I don't know. I don't know what you'd call that, you guys. But just white knee-high socks. And then she's got her Cryan Company navy blue shoes to match. So she's perfectly matching, and she's got her little headband with a little blue bow. So there she is. And hopefully you guys found this information helpful, informative. Like I said, I've had a lot of people reaching out, so I've been kind of planning on doing a video. It's just a matter of gathering enough information that I felt comfortable to share, making sure that I have good information to put out there for you guys. So that's it for us on this Saturday morning. I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend, and Monroe and I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye, guys. So quick note, I just wanted to clarify something about the portion of this chat regarding monetization and ads for our videos, because I didn't really go into that enough in detail. So part of the violations were the targeted I guess they call it targeted advertising, which is like, I want to say like almost 90% they're saying of the ads and the revenue that most channels are bringing in at this point. So they were in violation of targeting audiences, and that being of children. So when YouTube makes this change, if you are a channel that stays monetized, which I don't know who they're going to choose to allow to be monetized or not. That's why I say I'm kind of predicting the worst, that they will demonetize a lot of our channels, because a lot of us already have been through that. But even if you are allowed to stay monetized as a channel and your videos, you're not going to have that that type of ads, because the targeted ads are the ones that are the most expensive, and they're also the ones that bring in the most revenue for YouTube channel creators. So once they take those high ad revenues away and you just get the more basic lower level types of ads, is what they're saying. That means even if you stay monetized and you still have ads running on your channel, they're saying you could be making like 88% less, I think is what they were saying. Like that's a lot. So they're like looking at like 85% less revenue. And that's for every channel that may be, involved in, it's deemed, that it's child specific, or it's a demographic that is child based. So that's kind of like I said, it gets very complicated, and it really is going to depend on how YouTube deems each channel. And I think once they put like us as doll collectors in the big old bin of, you know, this is targeting a younger audience, I think we're all going to be kind of shoved into that big box of, yep, they're child related material, so they're going to not have those, you know, you're going to have the basic monetization to your videos, and so you're going to see a huge decrease in the revenues if you are making money off of your videos. So I think I just wanted to clarify that because it's super confusing. Like I said, it's a lot of information out there, but this one specifically, you know, I don't know if they'll allow us to stay monetized, but if they do, the ad revenue is going to be very, very, very huge decrease. Like it's going to be like pennies to the dollar of what you were making before, because what was making videos so much money were those targeted ads, and they're no longer. That was a violation that the FTC put on them. That's part of the many violations that I believe YouTube has kind of come up against. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying everybody will not be able to monetize their channel. I mean, I think we'll see. It's going to be, let's see how it all plays out, like I said. But I thought this part of it was very important to kind of clarify for you guys. So hopefully you guys have watched to the end. And like I said, as I find out more details as we get closer to this, I will definitely share what I know and the things that I learn about this, and how us as a doll community can kind of move forward and navigate through these big changes. And we'll see how it plays out, guys. I think it's gonna be kind of at least a year or two, I think, before we see like everything take full effect. I don't know. It's going to be a long road though, for sure. But yeah, hopefully we'll all still be around and they don't like all of a sudden, boom, our channels are gone. Hopefully we'll be able to stay monetized. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, more to come in the future, guys. And thank you again if you did watch to the end. And I hope you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.